Om Shanti. I wish all my dear brothers and sisters a very happy Shiv Jayanti today. Today in the Brahma Kumaris, we are celebrating Shiv Jayanti, and what that means is the birthday of God Shiva. And I want to announce to the world today, God Shiva has arrived. And as the title suggests, Shiva has arrived. So I want to take this opportunity to announce the good news that the Father of humanity, God Shiva, has arrived. I will not take this opportunity to explain to you how he has arrived and what is the method he has adopted and other things. If you are interested in those matters, you can undertake the Raj Yoga course offered by the Brahma Kumaris free of cost, and that will answer all of your questions regarding that. But on this auspicious occasion of Shiv Jayanti, I want to take this opportunity to share with you the message that God Shiva is sending out to his children. The work of God has been going on, and he has come here to share a message with humanity. And that message is what we will focus this class on. Whether you are a seeker or not, whether you are a theist, an atheist, or an agnostic, this message is very relevant for you, because we are going through times in which every human is making an attempt to find a solution to the problems that the world is going through today. But no human in any capacity is wise enough, powerful enough, virtuous enough, or capable enough to find a solution to these problems. And that is why, irrespective of your religious beliefs, irrespective of your spiritual orientation, it is God who you have to look up to, because the problems created by humans do not have a human solution these days, and humans have created a mess for themselves. And now we are living in that mess, and we do not know how to come out of this mess on our own. And that is why we want someone extraterrestrial, someone who doesn't belong to this human world, and someone who is coming from the beyond to give us the path, to show us the light with which we can find the way to progress ahead. And that is God. And this is why God has come, because humanity is going through a very perilous period, and humanity is suffering the most in these times. And God sees us as his children, and every parent doesn't like it when his child suffers. So he comes and tells the child the way out of his suffering or misery. Now, everybody has a perception, or most people have this perception, that God, if God exists, God should do something about whatever is happening. But God has apprised us of the law of karma, and he says that only the creator of the problem has the power to solve the problem. So I will ask you as parents, so when you are the parent of a child, you always want the best for your child, but you cannot save your child from himself. So you can save the child from the world, you can save the child from miscreants, you can save the child from dangers, from problems, but you cannot save the child from himself. And if the child has made himself, or has started having a personality which is not going to do good to the child itself, then the parent has to give up, and He can only teach the child, he can plead to the child that you do better, you mend your ways, but you cannot save the child from himself. So there are so many parents who say, my child has a drug problem, or my child is lazy and irresponsible and he doesn't understand the seriousness of doing something or not doing something. And then the parent, however hard they try, are not able to save the children from themselves. And this is basically what God is also telling us, that the problems that we are facing, or whatever we are going through internally and externally, is not because of how the world is, but it is the other way around. That is, the world is what it is because of what we are creating on the inside and the outside. So we are our own enemies and we are our own friends. So what God is telling us is, in Hinduism there is a very good saying, Manushya api apna mitra or api apna shatru. So you are your own best friend or you are your own worst enemy. And this is what we have started doing to ourselves. We have turned ourselves against ourselves. So now, what is it inside us that we have turned against ourselves? So God is telling us that we are not what we think we are. So we think we have a social identity, a physical identity, a professional identity, a religious identity. So sometimes when somebody asks you, you say, my name is so and so, and my qualifications are so and so, my post position designation is so and so, my religion is so and so, my race and ethnicity is so and so, or my nationality is so and so. So we think we are all of these factors combined together. But then God tells us that you are not your physical identity or your social, professional, national, ethnic, racial, or any other identity. What are you? So you are the one who takes up this body which has these identities. You are not even your gender, you are not even your age. So you are the immortal being in this mortal coil. So when we say we are mere mortals, then God is correcting us that you are not mortal, the body is mortal, but you are the immortal one in this mortal coil. And then this body has a gender, a race, an age, a caste, a religion, everything, but you don't have all of that. So he first of all introduces us to ourselves. So just like a parent introduces the child to himself, the child doesn't know when he is born who he is, and the parent introduces the child to his various physical identities. Similarly, God, the eternal parent of humanity, has come and he is telling us who we really are. So he tells us that you are a being in this body. So you are called a human being and you are a being in this body which is made of humus. And then he tells us that you start seeing yourself as you are. Right now, you are seeing yourself in identities which are in a mess right now. So look at your physical identity. So there is a lot of challenge to your physical identity because these days there is a disease and there is a virus which makes us always feel that anything can happen anytime, and if I do not know whether this body will exist tomorrow or not. So we have a lot of fear associated with our physical identity. And that is why when we are identifying with that which is not permanent, which is ever changing, we are having an identity crisis. So we are going through a phase of identity crisis because we are identifying with that which is ever changing and not permanent. So God is asking us, God Shiva is asking us to look at ourselves not based on these identities, but look at ourselves as spiritual beings in this mortal coil. So we are immortal beings in this mortal coil. And what he says is, you are like a star. You are like this being, this light in this body, and your qualities are knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and power. So first of all, he changes our self-image or self-perception about ourselves. So what he is asking us to do is, if we want to turn our assets not against us but in favor of us, so right now our own consciousness, our own attitude, our own vision, and our own action is turned against us. So he is making these four things: our consciousness, our attitude, our perception, and our action turn in favor of us. And he says that your consciousness of who you are is turned against us because you are in the consciousness of the body or the work you do or the things you have. And you say, I am the owner of this house, or I am an engineer or a doctor, or I am fit and smart. And then all those identities are not permanent. They are open to attack. They are open to change. And that is why there is a fear in our hearts that I might face an identity crisis tomorrow, because our own consciousness of who we are. So when I use the word consciousness, it means a sense of who you are. That is turned against you, because if you base your identity on something that is impermanent, then it is like sitting on a rocky chair and praying for stability. That's not happening, because the chair is meant to rock. Similarly, if you look around and ask yourself which aspects of your body or your profession or your social identity or your religious identity are never open to attack, and which aspects of you or in these spheres are permanent, then the question is, nothing about these things is permanent and everything is bound to change. And this is why there is so much of fear, and there is so much of instability and confusion, and there is insecurity, and there is hurt, and there is anger when these attacks take place. So this is why the first thing that God says is, your consciousness is turned against you. So seat yourself in the right consciousness. So stay in the consciousness of who you truly are. And who are you? You are an eternal point of light. You are immortal, you are eternal. Just see yourself as you are. You are not this body. You are the shining star sitting behind the eyes of this body. And that is you. And this is why anybody who leaves the body said they left for heavenly abode. Now, who is they who left the body for heavenly abode? The body is lying there. So who is it that left? So this is the question that God asks us and says, you are not the body, because if you died, then the body is still lying there. So who is it that leaves the body for heavenly abode? So you are the soul who leaves the body when the phenomena called death is experienced. So you do not die, you leave the body. So there is nothing like death. and the soul is eternal, and you are the soul. You don't have a soul, you are the soul. And then as a soul, you have nothing to be afraid of, nothing to lose, because you are always in your power. By default, by definition, by design, you are a knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful, happy, blissful, and powerful soul, pure soul. So when you seat yourself in the right consciousness, then all these doubts and fears and negativities and these other negative emotions that emerge from the wrong kind of consciousness about yourselves just vanish. So you don't have to make a lot of effort to drive out the darkness. You can just switch on the light of awareness. And when you switch on this light of awareness of who you really are, then everything else that is dark and bleak and low energy just vanishes. And then the next thing that God says is, remember who you belong to. So we have always prayed out to God, saying that you are the Almighty and that you are the ocean of virtues and you are the Savior. And then we have along with that added that I am a nobody and I'm weak and I'm like this speck of dust and I'm a nothing. But God says, I am your parent and you are my child. And here he also clarifies that just like you are a point of light, you are a point of energy, and you are separate from the physical form which you take to play this role on earth. Similarly, God is also just like you. You are his child. So a child is just like his parent. So the parent, the father and mother of the soul, God, he is also a point of light. And he says that I am the ocean of virtues, the ocean of powers, the ocean of knowledge. And you are my child, and you are also the master ocean of virtues, ocean of powers, and ocean of knowledge. He says you are no less. So do not identify yourself with your physical parent. So sometimes, I will say that my physical parent is alcoholic or diabetic, and then I might also have those tendencies, or there is a history of cancer in the family, so probably that I am also susceptible to it. So sometimes we tend to borrow the weakness of our parents. Now what God is asking us to do is, he says, just see yourself as sharing the strengths of your spiritual parent. So just like you thought you shared the strengths and weakness of your physical parent, now the physical parent is capable of both strengths and weaknesses. But with regard to the spiritual parent and his weakness, there is none. So there is no weakness in the spiritual parent, only strength. And loads and loads of strength, because he is the ocean. So the ocean of purity, the ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of power, and he is the ocean of knowledge. And he says, you are my child. So just stay in the consciousness of who you belong to. And always remember that you don't have to seek, you don't have to beg from him that give me powers, give me virtues, give me happiness, give me peace. He says, just remember who you are. You have it all. So there is a very beautiful story which we narrate in this regard. And it is said that there was once a queen and she had a necklace. And that necklace was made of diamonds. And then she was searching for that necklace in the whole kingdom and in the whole palace, because she thought she has lost it. And in the end, what she discovers is she's wearing it around her neck and she had forgotten it, so she was looking for it outside. Similarly, God says that you think that the source of peace, happiness, purity, power is outside. but then it is not outside. You are the child of the source of these qualities, these powers. So when you are the child, you have a right to it. But just like, these days, some people are not aware of their rights. So there are human rights bestowed by the constitution of the country, and then a person is not aware of their human rights or their social rights, and then those rights are not what they are having a right over, and then they are experiencing misery because they are not aware of their rights. Similarly, God is saying, bring into your awareness that you are the child of God, who is the ocean of knowledge, virtues, powers, and as a child you have a right to these. You don't have to beg it from outside, you have to exert it on the inside, that I am this, and I am peaceful, I am powerful, I am loveful, I am knowledgeful. And then God says that since I am here, you have access to all of these. But then how will you be able to access these virtues or these powers? By turning your mind to God. So how do you turn your mind to God? So you see, God tells us a very simple formula for accessing His powers and virtues. He says, forget the body, the religion of the body, the relations of the body. Come to the awareness that you are a soul. Turn your mind to me and take power from me. So these are the 4 steps he says. First thing is, forget this external world. Come to the awareness that you are a soul, that you are a being of light, that you are the child of God. And as soon as you think of yourself as the child of God, you can turn your attention to God. And when you turn your attention to God and link your heart with the ocean of peace, purity, love, and power, then you can draw that power into yourself. You can draw that peace into yourself. So you see, these days, when I say we humans have become our own enemies, so I gave you this very strong statement, and probably some of you might be wondering, what makes me say that we are our own enemies? So why am I saying we are our own enemies? Because what we are doing is we are turning our own consciousness against ourselves, and we are turning our mind and intellect. We are turning our attention and our mind to those things which are not okay. So you see, there is a very simple rule. If you turn your mind and your attention to something that is not okay, you will not be okay. So you become like the one you pay attention to. So let's take a very simple example. Let's say my body is not okay. Now let's say I am experiencing certain symptoms in the body, but I have not paid much attention to them. But suddenly I run a test and I become aware that there is some problem with the body. And then what happens is the whole being inside is captured by that problem when we have it in our awareness or in our attention, or it becomes part of my thinking. So as soon as you turn your attention and your thoughts to that area which is not okay, you also start getting upset or disturbed. So this is what is said. So when you turn your attention to something that is of low consciousness, that is in low vibration, low frequency, then your frequency, your vibration also starts going low. So what God says is, if we want to raise the collective vibrations, the collective frequency of this planet, what we have to do is we have to turn our attention and our mind away from this world, which is going through a phase where nothing is in a state of in a state of goodness or in a state of beauty, and we want to turn our attention to that one which is vibrating at a high frequency. So this world is going through a phase of degradation, and the frequency of this world out here is not very high. The vibration is not high. The vibration is not positive. And there we have in the beyond God, who is radiating the frequency of peace, love, happiness, beauty, power, everything. So if we want to change the collective vibration of this planet, what we need to do is withdraw our attention from this external world, which is vibrating at a low frequency, turn our attention and our mind to God, who is the highest consciousness, who is vibrating at the highest frequency. And when we turn our attention to God, then we start absorbing His vibration. So just like you see, there is a process called osmosis, in which you soak certain dry seeds in water and you leave them overnight, and then in the morning the seeds become full and healthy, and then the nutrients inside get activated because the water gets absorbed very well. Similarly, if you turn your attention and your mind to God, then you start absorbing His qualities, His virtues, His powers, His frequency, His vibration. And then by soaking that in, you start vibrating at that frequency. Just like you see, when this world is going through a period where everybody is in fear and sorrow and pain and insecurity, we are all absorbing those vibrations by turning our attention to it. And how are we turning our attention to it? By tuning in to the TV or tuning into the radio. Now you see, that event is happening somewhere outside. It might not be happening in your neighborhood or in your house. It might be happening at a distance. But when you turn your mind to it, when you turn your attention to it, it starts coloring you. Similarly, God may not be physically, like you may not be physically in touch with God right now, but then you can always turn your mind and attention to God. Just like you turn your mind and attention to unfortunate events, to scenes of sorrow or events of misery, you can turn your attention to God. So what God says, keep in your awareness that just like there are so many things going on in and around you, there is also God around you. And who is God? God is the ocean of purity, the ocean of peace, the ocean of powers, the Almighty, and you are His child. So sit like a child before God, see yourself as He sees you, and in doing so, you start being colored by His perception of you, and you start soaking in His powers, His purity into you. And when you start soaking that into you, you become an agent of change in this world, because now you are vibrating at a frequency which is higher than the things and people and places around you. And when you are vibrating at a higher frequency, then according to the law of energy, you will be able to pass on that energy, pass on that vibration to everything around you. And instead of being a victim of the circumstances around you, you can actually turn yourself into an agent of change. And this is God's message to each one of us, to stop playing victims of circumstances and start being agents of change by changing our consciousness of ourselves, and turning into the perception or the attitude that I'm a child of God, and then orienting our mind towards God, paying attention to His presence and soaking in His powers and virtues. And then we will be able to raise the collective vibration or the collective frequency of this planet. So these days there is a lot of talk about angels, and there are people who talk about guiding angels and they are waiting for their angels, and there are people who say that I want an angel in my life and I'm waiting for my guiding angel to show me some sign. So what God is saying, you be an angel for many. Don't wait for the angel, become the angel. Who is an angel? An angel is perceived as the messenger of God or as the conduit of God. So there is God at the highest frequency, and then there are angels who carry God's message or carry God's energy to others. And an angel is supposed to be on a higher frequency than humans. So you can change from a human to an angel by changing your consciousness and changing your attitude and changing your connections, by changing your orientation of mind and attention away from the world and taking it to God. So I will like to repeat the 4 steps. First is, you withdraw your attention from your body and from things and events and places around you, people around you. Just come to the awareness that you are the star sitting behind the eyes, and know that it is God that you belong to. And as you turn your mind to God, see Him as that ocean of peace and purity, radiating love to His dear child. Soak in that love, raise your frequency, and radiate it to the world around you. So this is the process of Raj Yoga or meditation that God is teaching for us to change from humans to angels. So now for the next 5 to 6 minutes, I will give you a commentary, and let us just sit and practice this communion with God. So God Shiva, who is the incorporeal one, the incorporeal supreme being of light, and I, the soul, the point of light, sit in communion for the next few minutes. Sit still. Look at your attention that is scattered everywhere, and slowly, gently bring it to the body. This is my body sitting on the chair. Now move your attention upwards and take it to the center of the eyes. Now let your attention pierce through the center of the eyes and reach you, the tiny little star sitting behind the eyes. See yourself as the pure being of light, independent of the body. I am this eternal point of light. I have taken this body. I will leave this body. I continue to exist before and after this body. I am the star. I am the eternal light. Now turn your attention to God, who lives in the world beyond. That world is a world of light. In that golden red world of light lives God, the ocean of love, the ocean of power. See yourself as sitting in front of God in that world of light, bathing in the rays of love emerging from your Father. As you sit there, you soak in the rays of love emerging from the parent to the child. God loves you unconditionally. He sees you in your virtues and powers. He sees you as an agent of change. He is filling you with whatever you need to carry out His task. Just allow yourself to soak all that in. As I sit in the company of the Almighty, I see myself change into a powerful being. Now I gently come back and take my place behind the eyes and allow those powerful vibrations to flow into the body and into the atmosphere around me through my eyes. Om Shanti.